Hey, what's going on YouTube? Andrew here with Redwood Reptiles, and today I want to do a video on some of my top pickups from 2020. But before we get into it, gotta give a shout out to Shane, Small Town Exotics. Shane's one of the guys that really welcomed me into this community. He's always there to help out and answer questions. He's got an amazing work ethic. He motivates me to put content out there. And so if you're not already following Shane, do so. His information is going to be in the description down below, both on Instagram as well as YouTube. And I got to do a retroactive shout out to MJ at MJ Exotics Cartel. In my last video, I was wearing one of his shirts. Forgot to shout him out. My bad. But if you guys aren't already following MJ, do so on Instagram. But also go to his Trap Talk Podcast YouTube channel. Every week, usually on Thursday, he has some sick guests on there. Super informative, super entertaining. Definitely recommend it. And it was one of those, things or pieces of content that I came across that really that motivated me to get more involved in this community. So go check them both out. So 2020 pickups. For me, 2020 was my first year into the whole breeding hobby, and really into this reptile community that I didn't even know existed. 2020 was obviously super weird and crappy and just, Twilight Zone-ish, but I was able to discover something amazing and amazing people, amazing hobby, and now it's a passion of mine. So something good did come from 2020 for me, and that was breeding ball pythons. Because 2020 was my first year, obviously didn't have a collection, so that's when it started to build. And it wasn't until around late April, early May that it started to kind of take off, and I started to make a lot of purchases. And without getting into too much detail or getting into the weeds, I just wanted to go over some of my top pickups from 2020, and it's in no particular order. It's just, and it's not the top three, it's just of the ones that stand out, these are three of them. And I'm going to be breaking it down into three categories, and that's going to be based on price. So it's going to be 0 to 500, 500 to 1500, and 1500 and above. And the only reason I'm doing that, it's not to discuss the exact price, because I'm not going to tell you exactly what I paid for them. I don't think it matters. But I think it matters in the sense that if you're getting into this hobby or you're getting into these projects, it's kind of nice to know what you're going to have to be looking to spend. When I was starting to make all these purchases, I didn't know if certain things were a good deal, if I was getting ripped off or what. And this isn't, obviously this is by no means an all-inclusive way of determining your pricing. However, it should give you a bit of an idea what you can expect to pay for these genes or these combination of genes, granted you want to get into these projects. So without further ado, here are 9 of my top pickups from 2020. So kicking off the $0 to $500 range is this female Pastel Leopard Spark. Picked her up from Reptile Factory in Downey, California, and I didn't really have any plans for her. I still don't, to be honest. I just really liked the way she looked. She was just a little bit older than a hatchling when I picked her up, but she eats really, really good. She's grown up pretty nicely, and I just really like the coloration and the pattern that she has. Like I said, I have no plans for her. I'll think of something, but it's just one of those snakes that I really liked. 99% of the time I'm buying snakes that fit into particular projects, especially now. Maybe not in the beginning so much, but I am now. And but every now and then I'll see a snake that, I don't know, I just like the way they look. So I have a couple like that I have really no plans for and don't fit into my breeding plans going forward. But like I said, I just like the way they look and enjoy keeping them as pets for now. So the next snake in the $0 to $500 range is this female banana yellow belly I picked up from Tory Royal Pythons, and she was super tiny when I got her, probably about 100 grams, maybe a little bit more than that, and she's, I think, just at 500. So she's eating well, growing nice. I really like how the yellow belly reduces the amount of speckling in her. I know she's going to speckle up more as she gets older. That's just what this gene does. If you're not familiar with banana, those are not mites, those are just natural occurring speckling on the snake. And you can add certain genes to it to reduce that, such as Inchi, I believe fire, yellow belly, these kind of genes will help limit the amount of speckling that occurs as the snake ages. So I just really like her. She's got a little bit of stuck shed there on her neck to get that off. But in my opinion, really pretty animal. Female bananas aren't super easy to come by, so definitely digging her. And so if you're looking to get into a recessive project that, in my opinion, still has a lot to be done to it, and you want to stay under $500, you can go with something like this. This is a female pied, no other genes inside of her, just a pied. And like I said, she was just under 500 bucks. I got her from Samantha Gage Reptiles, and I got her when she was about 300 grams, and she's pushing 1250 right now. But I just really like the pattern and coloration of just a single gene pied, nothing else in it. I like the lower white expressions. I used to like the higher white, and kind of as I started, my collection started growing and my taste started to, alter. I kind of am drawn more towards the low white to medium white pied, so that's what she is. And awesome snake, great eater. And I just think she looks really nice. Just a really good example of a pied. And for under 500 bucks, can't beat it. So the first snake in the $500 to $1,500 category that I picked up in 2020 that I am most excited for is this female Inchi, 100% het sunset. And I picked her up from Always Evolving Pythons about 6 months ago, and really small when I got her, about 120 grams, but she's putting on weight nicely. Hopefully she continues to eat. Had no problems with her since, but one of the things I noticed about this girl, aside from the fact that I've invested pretty heavily in the Sunset project, at least what I consider heavily, so I'm excited for her to to grow up and to eventually breed her. But why I'm getting increasingly more excited about her is the way she's coloring up. So she's just a single gene Inchi and 100% het sunset, but I really feel like the het sunset is having a huge influence on her coloring. And she wasn't this orange towards the belly. I'll get the camera to focus. When I got her, she's getting more and more orange near the belly, and the blushing is awesome on her. I'm really excited to see what she does. But yeah, in my opinion, Sunset, the het version of Sunset, definitely influences the pattern and the coloration on these snakes. I've seen other examples from other people where you can tell that it influences it, and they share the same opinion that I have, in that this doesn't look like a normal Inchi looks. So Inchi het sunset female, sitting at about 500 grams. Got a ways to go to raise her up to breeder, but really looking forward to it, and like I said, really enjoying watching her color up the way she is. Alright, and the second snake in the $500 to $1,500 range is one of my favorite snakes overall, one of my favorite genes overall, really, and that is this lesser desert ghost female that I got from JBT XOTICS Reptiles. And when I got her, she was about 700 grams, 730 grams, and since I've had her, she's been one of my best eaters. But it's crazy the rate she's grown. She gets fed just like all the other ones, once a week, nothing crazy, but the way that she's been able to put on weight is insane. In 6 months she shot up to almost 1,700 grams, so she's gone up, that's going crazy, but she's gone up almost 1,000 grams in 5 to 6 months. 6 months, and she's nice and heavy. I paired her up 3 times now over the last 3 months successfully, locking with the male Sunset, which, spoiler alert, is one of the next snakes I'm going to be showing soon. But have paired them up to make some double hets, and like I said, they've locked every time. She's obviously going to be a first-year breeder, but she's still eating, and she's just coloring up really nicely and doing what Desert Ghost does. In my opinion, just gets nicer over time. And yeah, so she's a lesser Desert Ghost, female, and super happy with her, super happy to watch her progression and see what she produces. And the third snake in this $500 to $1,500 range is this female Super Chocolate Hypo Butter that I got from Jeremy at Fireball Reptiles, one of 3 snakes that I purchased from Jeremy. When I got her, she was a little bit darker, and over time, a little stuck shed there too. You know, with the winter months and with the type of setup I have here, it's really hard to keep humidity at the right level. So I'm starting to see a little bit of stuck shed here and there when normally I have really just amazing sheds from all my snakes. Yeah, nothing to pick that off later. But anyways, she is sitting at just over 1,500 grams, 1,520 I believe, and really good eater. Really excited to pair her up with another snake that I have that I'm going to show in my next category, and when he gets to size. So she's doing great. Really excited to see what she can produce. I'm a big fan of Hypo. I know a lot of people aren't. She's going crazy. She's not a big fan of being held, this one, but we're working with it. Really excited to see what she produces. Like I said, she's a super chocolate, so everything she produces will be chocolate. And with the Hypo, I think that's just an amazing combination. Obviously, the butter helps mellow it out even more. And yeah, so another one of my favorite pickups from 2020. Super Chocolate Hypo Butter, female. So kicking off the $1,500 and up category is this shy little guy that I also picked up from Jeremy at Fireball Reptiles. He is by far one of my favorite snakes. He is a Pastel Super Inchi Desert Ghost, 100% head Hypo. So he is who I plan on pairing up to the Super Chocolate Hypo Butter female that I just showed. And obviously he's not big enough yet. I think he's only at like 390 grams. So once he gets of age and size, he will be paired up with her for sure. And he will be paired up with other snakes as well, because I'm really excited about incorporating his genes into some other projects I have. But I just think he's an amazing example of the gene. Like I said, Desert Ghost is by far one of my favorite genes. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it might be tied for my favorite, just because of what it does and how you can incorporate it into pretty much any combination of genes and have them look better. You know, you don't really see anything getting worse with Desert Ghost. So this little guy is an amazing animal. I love the little handlebar mustache. If you can see it, let's see if the camera will pick it up. Come on. There it is. He's shy, but an awesome snake. Super happy to have him. You know, they call this dollar amount, you know, $1,500 and up is, or maybe even $1,000 and up. People call them investment snakes, and yeah, I understand why they say that, because they are pricey. However, I think any snake that you spend money on is an investment snake. You know, even $300. I don't have $300 to just throw around. So anytime I purchase a snake, I look at it as an investment, and some are just bigger investments than others. But yeah, definitely proud of this guy. Super happy with him, and just an amazing animal. So the next snake in the $1,500 and up category from 2020 is this lesser Super Hurricane, or Hayabusa, that I picked up from Nicole at Canadian Regis. And I love this snake. I was excited about it because I'd seen some amazing combos with the Hurricane, and so I knew I wanted to have it in my collection. However, I didn't know how much I would like it. You know, and it's one of those snakes that once you see it in person, you really start to appreciate all the patterns and the blushing and the color. And it being a super, you know, I think she's going to be such a powerful animal to have. And she's almost at 1,200 grams right now, and 1,180 I believe last time I checked. And just everything about this snake to me, as far as like Hurricane the jean goes, is just a great example of it. I'm by no means an expert on the jean, or any of these jeans for that matter, but from the ones that I have seen, this one just does, it stands out to me. And I know Nicole's known to work with that jean quite a bit, so it's nice knowing it came from her. But yeah, this is a lesser Hayabusa or Super Hurricane, and by far one of my favorite pickups from 2020. And yeah, I really like the eye stripe. Should stop moving. Oh, it's like outlined in black. I think that's super cool. I love the pattern, like the dots down the dorsal and then towards the tail, if you notice it. So you got these dots right here, and then turns into almost like a freeway pattern down the back with this striping. And obviously the alien heads are totally blown up, as per usual for Hurricanes. But yeah, awesome animal, in my opinion. And finally, to close out this video, is my pride and joy, this male sunset, which I know a lot of people aren't fans of sunset. I know a lot of them, I've seen a lot of sunsets that I'm not fans of, and some tend to brown out. This one is, I promise, a little bit brighter than he's picking up on camera. I have a female sunset, which I was going to show, who's actually really bright, just a single gene sunset. But in person, this snake is brighter than he comes off on camera. But be that as it may, just a powerful animal. Like I said, I put him to that lesser desert ghost that I showed. They locked up. He's a first-year breeder. I got him when he was about 450 grams, and he grew pretty fast. I think he's at 9 something right now, and he won't sit still. Very inquisitive. Cool animal, personality-wise. So he's locked up with her and another snake, another female I have, he's locked up with also. And he's also going to be locking up, most likely with that female Inchi het sunset that I showed. And so, yeah, just a gene that I fell in love with when I saw it. Like I said, I've seen some examples of the gene that I don't like, where it just kind of looks like, ugh. But I have seen some that I do like. This is one of them. And the other one I have that I didn't show is actually quite a bit brighter than this one. But because he's the only male that I have, and he's so important to the projects that I have in mind, that I have coming up, he definitely tops the list as my favorite snake of 2020, for sure. So yeah, guys, those are the ones that really stood out to me. All for different reasons. However, going forward, they're all going to be implemented into my breeding program. So I'm super excited to watch them grow and raise them up. And I've got so many snakes, it was really hard to narrow it down, which isn't a terrible problem to have. But maybe I'll do another video with a different set of snakes, same parameters, or different ones if you guys are interested in something else. But I know people don't like to talk about money, but when I was, trying to soak up as much content as I could, when I was trying to learn as much as I could, money is a huge part of it. I don't know why people don't like talking about it, because it is what it is. You want to talk about buying a car, you got to know how much it costs. So similar thing. I know it's not a car, it's a living thing. I get it. It's an analogy, okay? But I think it's very important to talk about cost if you do plan on doing this seriously, okay? And whether it be just for hobby seriously, or for an actual business, I still think it's important to talk about. So if it bothers you talking about money, then I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't bother me, so I'm going to talk about it. Comments, questions, leave them down below. And like I said, go follow Shane at Small Town Exotics and MJ at MJ Exotics Cartel. Their information will be down below in the description as well. If you didn't hate this video, give it a like. If you're not already, consider subscribing to the channel. And until next time, guys, take care.